What I do is I have just a special place in my heart for ephemera, like vintage ads or vintage texts and articles, and I hate to see them tossed. And they're actually, it's a great opportunity to look through magazines during different time periods to learn about this style and the culture and different brands and different products. What I have decided to do is for my Etsy shop, in order to promote a sustainable lifestyle, I'm choosing to wrap Etsy purchases in these old magazine articles whenever possible. And in addition, some of these are super great, and I might put them in a nice plastic sleeve as a gift. Some of these could be framed, absolutely. So I wanted to show you some of the divisions that I've had. A lot of these in here already are from some 1940s and 50s travel magazines. So I divided up all of these with the different states in the US. So another option I have is if I get an order from someone that lives in Colorado and I can't find something quite right for them, I will come over to my Colorado file and just see if I can find something cool. These are really fun. That's a cool just picture from Colorado. You've got, sorry for that, you've got some really cool old Broadmoor ads. Colorado, quite a bit of skiing Colorado, that sort of thing. Some of these would look, and then some old postcards, some of these would look really cool framed. So I've got all my states organized, and then I have all my international things organized, which is super fun. These travel magazines, which I love travel and I love international things, so they really spoke to me, and I wanted to save them. I've got some different ones with the European countries, some from Africa, some from Asia, for example. These are some Asian airline advertisements that are super cool. Let's see what else I got on here. Oh, a lot of these are Islander type. Nova Scotia, I think that one is Bahamas. If any customer were to buy something of that nature that I have in my shop, I could include that. These are aircrafts as well as cool cruise line ones. I mean, that's so cool, right? I hate to throw that away. And really beautiful, colorful pictures. These right here, this is a Cunard, which is, these are coming back if you can find any of these. They're like more lithographic kind of advertisements. That is kind of my worldwide travel one. These over here, they don't look organized, but I tell you what, it took me forever. And they still look kind of messy. But this is where I might put different categories like food. So I gave the example last time of a lady who bought a Pillsbury Doughboy little porcelain doll thing from me, and I found a cool old Pillsbury ad that I was able to put in there. I'm trying to find a good example. I have old recipes in here to where if someone buys a cookbook from me, that they might enjoy an old recipe. Just different things like this. This is my recipe file. So for example, I've got some fun little books. Just this kind of stuff that I'm like, oh, I hate to throw that away. It could be a free gift to someone. This one's cool. It's an old grandma's handwritten notes. I probably should go through that myself, but I just don't really like to cook. Kitchen stuff. I have, this is alcoholic drinks and beverages, cigars and cigarette ads. There's a ton of automobilia. Just really cool, different ads, Lincoln, Ford, Chevrolet. Some of these are pretty old, some of them not so much. But I love the color palettes, and you can just learn a lot. And they're a nice full size. A lot of these could be framed if someone's really into that stuff. This one is Sportings and Hobbies. And I think I found like this really cute, for example. Yeah, so this is where I have pockets down here for photos. But like, this is a super cute old high school basketball team photo. I hate to throw that away. Or a kid playing with a vintage toy, or people out fishing. Quite a few of these are fun fishing ones. Just hobbies, you know, I've had, for example, a ceramic This guy's camping. A ceramic fish before. This lady's holding a fish, like planter. Maybe I would include these fish pictures in with that purchase. You can kind of see sewing, history, war, school, and in this box I have portraits and people. So this is a fun little box of just a lot of my old cardstock photos of people and places. A lot of these are quite old, and I just hate to throw them out, but they're not necessarily worth a lot of money. That's really the point here. A lot of these things are rare in the sense you're not going to find probably this exact picture ever again of this man at 19 years old. It's rare, but they're not worth hardly anything. Children and babies. I have so many cute little baby pictures that just, if someone buys a toy or a kid's toy or something, I'd love to stick this in there. You've got things like this that show a Victorian style of dress and what kids wore for photos, and you can look at a little bit of the decor. And back here is animals, adorable animals, whether that's in ads, people who love animals. I have a lot of animal stuff in my shop, whether that's, again, like an animal planter or just pictures of animals. There's a horse, this guy with a dog, so cute. And then back here is more of your style. So menswear style, accessories, clothing, there's lots of this kind of stuff. Personal care, you've got a lot of ads like this, and that's for Ivory soap, I believe. And again, you might be thinking, what are you gonna do with that? Yeah, that's probably a good question, but I might use this as wrapping paper as well. And it just is a nice sustainable way to save paper. This stuff is home decor, a lot of home decor stuff that shows the style of different times. And then I like to keep text articles as well. So what am I gonna do with it? Would be a really great question. Well, some of this stuff, this was a 1980s Life magazine that I just got. And they were looking back over the last 50 years, and they had some really cool articles like this. For example, they published this in 1945. So this is a reprint, but how women cram handbags full of many odd things. This is a really cool piece that maybe if someone, I have several handbags listed, I have some compact mirrors, I have some Max Factor type stuff, old vintage beauty care products. I would love to stick this in a plastic sleeve and give it to someone who would probably appreciate looking at these different types of trends and what Betty Grable was sticking in her purse and what Lucille Ball was sticking in her purse, what kind of purses they wore. This is some really cool information. And on the back side, same thing. I think that there are people who would appreciate this little trinket. With my sporting stuff, really cool things there. Now, a lot of this stuff here, for example, this is just a cool picture that Life had printed at some point, Life magazine, and I'll probably use this as wrapping paper for a small item. I think it's really cool. It's really beautiful. You've got the vintage car there. You've got the Kroger sign. You've got people that show the styles of that time period. Super cool thing. I'll wrap that. This is cool. It just shows home decor during 1937 of a rich couple with their little cute dog. There's lots of ways to connect this to people's purchases. These kind of stuff, just funky, I'll use as funky wrapping paper. This is super cute stuff of the kid trying to get the cat to be still, and he's crossing his eyes. It's cute. Then there's, of course, these are particularly 1980s ads, which I love because this reminds me of my childhood. But someone who maybe buys an old Esprit piece from me might appreciate that. You've got your Heineken beer. If I ever sold anything that has to do with Howdy Doody, I will file this away under my famous people or possibly toys. And this was a cute little contest they did in 1950 to see who looked the most like Howdy Doody. This was a really interesting cultural ad for Benetton, United Colors of Benetton, with a young Hebrew boy and a young, I guess Arab might be the right term, young man, or maybe Palestinian. I'm not exactly sure on that, but they're both touching the globe. And maybe if I ever sold a globe or something like that, or something with an international vibe, that's an interesting ad. You've got your Reebok. Rita Hayworth, I'll file that away under famous people. Just a really cute dog that would make anyone smile. You've got, I don't remember these, the different toys. I love this one of Picasso in his villa, I think. I forgot. I've seen this picture numerous times from 1955. I think it's in California with an actress or a model. Super cool with home decor. Anyone who's buying art for me, look at this Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That's awesome. Like when it first came out, that was always my favorite, Indiana Jones. Just neat things like that. So this is not worth money, and I've invested money in it. So this is not particularly a business move for me, this whole weekend project. What this is for me is adding value to my brand, because one, our brand, Theo Nouveau, promotes a sustainable lifestyle. This is a way that we do that and try to show appreciation for the earth and for our customers with these little extra knickknacks and trinkets that are carefully thought of. And it's really my weird way, I guess, to feel like that I'm preserving a little bit of history, that these things can teach us something. They are worth passing on in some small way to someone who might appreciate automobiles, or who might appreciate live in Wyoming and want an old postcard from Wyoming. So this is about preserving history and building up what's important to me and what matches the vision of Theo Nouveau, not necessarily making money. So it is tough to spend a whole weekend on something like this when time feels short, but I compare it to our vision, and that means it's meaningful work because it promotes a sustainable lifestyle, and it helps teach people about the decorative arts and a growing appreciation for the decorative arts and preserving history. So maybe something here gave you an idea of what you could do, and I hope that helps. Thanks.